Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Come on in. How you doing? It's Jake Johnson on a Friday night. Untethered live chill stream. No voice, all attitude. All cowboy, no hat. You know how it goes. John, you're first in chat. What's up? Good to see you, my friend. John says, hello, everyone. Linda Davis says, hi, everyone. You get a gold star, John. You get the gold star for being first in chat. I'm going to be cutting in and out, because that's just the nature of the voice thing. Soph says, hey guys, my mom's cancer has spread to her lungs. I can't believe it. Well, did you think it was going to not? That's what cancer does. It spreads. It's terrible. I'm sorry for your mother. I'm sorry for you. But you can expect it to get worse. That's what cancer does. Nice. John says, prayers, Soph. Prayers and hearts. Amanda says, here's your gold star nugget. And Soph says, that's my update. I apologize. My voice just will not work. I pushed it too far. I pushed it too far. I guess I might have to start talking like this, because I can do this fine. Sort of. Amanda says, hi, Nugget and Linda and Soph. And John says, hi, Linda and Soph. Heart. And Amanda. Amanda says, hi, Untethered Live family. Good to see y'all. Happy Friday. I hope everyone had a good week. Whew. It's been a long week. Hard week, but a week nonetheless. How are you tonight, Jake? Like Miss Piggy on a prom night. Squeaky. Squeaky with a frog in my throat. Ribbit. Oh, it's horrible. You guys can't listen to this all night. It'll loosen up in a minute, though. John says, hi, Amanda. Not feeling too good. To Jake, got a heat stroke now. Not feeling too good, too. Jake got the heat stroke. No, I don't have a heat stroke. I'm just, losing my voice. Probably everything else, too, but. And I apologize that you don't feel so good. Or are you saying you have a heat stroke? It looks like you're asking if I had one, but no, I didn't. But if you had one, I apologize. That's terrible. Drink lots of water and relax. Amanda says, oh no, Nugget. I know the feeling, man. That sucks. Oh, you've had a heat stroke. Well, that's terrible, man. A heat stroke is no good for you. You got to relax and let your body reacclimate. Drink lots of water. And I really don't know what else you can do for a heat stroke other than just ride it out. I wish I had more advice for you. That's one of those things that you just have to suffer if you have one. I've been fortunate. I don't think I've ever had one, and if I did, I didn't know it. I've been really hot before, but I've always managed to stay conscious and stay working. And Amanda says once you've had one, they come easy after that. Hang on, I'll drop something. That's not good. That's really not good. I dropped something and now I can't find it. It's right below me and I can't find it. Interesting. Maybe I'll get lucky and step on it. These little mitts seem to help. I got all kinds of things going on here. Yeah. Amanda says, be careful, Nugget. Once you've had one, they come very easily after that. And Sophie says, sorry to hear that, John. And Amanda says, a lukewarm bath will help you feel better. Yeah, you don't want to do anything that raises your body temperature. I know that much. Amanda says, want me to come look? No, I know where it's at. It's below me. I just can't bend over and pick it up. I'm on camera. I'll get it later. I know why you want to go down there, but there'll be no looking done if you go down there. John says, I only went to the shop. You got to be careful, man. It gets really hot really fast. I'm sorry to hear that everybody's feeling bad today. I feel fantastic, aside from the fact that I can't talk. I feel pretty good. Had a long, good day today. And Amanda says, well, damn, I tried. Trying to slip in there, ain't you? If you came in here, neither one of us would get anything done. I can't be expected to concentrate with that kind of stuff going on. I can't concentrate now. Linda, how are you doing today? How's your son? Amanda says, yeah, John, with your treatment, anything will get to you quickly, so be careful. Yes, please. John says, try some ice cream or some ice water, Jake. Yeah, I've been trying all kinds of things, man. It just won't go away. I'm pretty sure it's permanent. I have moments where it's okay, and then moments where it's just like I'm being strangled. I guess it depends on what I'm doing and how much movement I'm doing. If I'm up moving around, it seems to be better. But if I just woke up or if I'm at the house chilling, it seems to get worse. I don't know. Fab Daddy says, it's Friday and I feel onerous. You feel onerous? Hornous? You feel hornous? That's a weird way to feel. Linda says, he was released today. I'm hot, hot, hot. Well, I know you're hot, hot, hot. I was asking about your son. You got to calm down there, Linda. You'll be getting all the boys in here in trouble. Be telling them all that stuff. I'm glad you're feeling all right. And I'm glad that they released him today. I'm hoping he's doing better. Amanda says, hi, Fab. By the way, hi, Fab. I don't know if I said that or not, but hello. What does hornus mean? Amanda says, that's good, Linda. Continued prayers for him. Absolutely. We got a prayer list about long as my leg now. John says, prayers for your son, Linda. And Linda says, I need some trouble in my life. I know, right? Don't we all? Get a little action. Once you get above 50, that kind of dries up, don't it? So says, hey, Linda, what happened to your son? Fab Daddy says, horn us. It's a flex. Your freedom saying. Got it. I've never heard it, so apparently my freedom is not in any danger of needing flexed. I smoked out an elderly lady today. Well, that's good. She deserved it. She had no business trying to keep her fresh, clean air all to herself. You did a good thing there. Amanda says, I've been a very, very bad girl. I need a spanking. Calm down, lady. Fab Daddy says, she got stoned. I bet she did. Sue Wood says hello. Hey, Sue. How are you doing? How are you feeling today? It's Friday. It's a happy day. I'm doing my happy dance. I'm a happy, happy boy. I'm a happy, happy, happy boy. Linda says, be right back. I have to move my truck for tomorrow's festivities. All right. When you get back, tell us what those festivities are. Amanda says, hi, Sue. Angela's here. She says, my throat is bothering me too today. I'm drinking hot green elderberry tea with vitamin C and a package of Emergency mixed. The super pack of vitamin C. Got it. It tastes pretty good. Yeah. Hot tea's pretty good for that. Unfortunately, I don't have a sore throat. I have a damaged throat, and it's really showing its butt here lately. The past week, I've barely been able to talk at all, and I just keep pushing and pushing. That's probably why I won't let it rest. I probably need to spend about a week in silence and just not say anything. But I figure if I've got it, I'm going to use it while I got it. Amanda says, hi, Angela. And Patty's here. She says, hello. Is anybody in there? I'm in here. Nice to see you. That's really weird. I hate it when I drop something at my feet and it vanishes. I have no idea where it went. That's all I can think about is stepping on it and their dog eating it. Sue Wood says, I got approved for Medicaid and SNAP today. A step towards improving my financial situation. That's fantastic, Sue. Congratulations. I know that's a load off your mind. Fab Daddy says, Angela, are you hot or cold? Or is it a choice? You're giving her a multiple choice. Hot or cold? You pick. Amanda says, hi, Patty. Hi, Patty. Linda says, the car cruise. Oh, yeah. You told me about that. The thing your town puts on. Is that right? I might be mixing two different ideas together. John says, hello to everyone. Hello, John. Nice to see you. Patty says, Miss Amanda. Fab Daddy says, oh, I'm an idiot. I read it. You read what? I don't know what you're saying. And Linda says, it goes by my house, so the streets have to be empty. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Fab Daddy says, I wore tidy whities. I know. You told me that last night. You're a tidy whitey guy. I can tell. Tidy whitey guys have a certain disposition. And they're a certain type of guy. I am not a tidy whitey guy. I'm a let it all hang out and see what happens kind of guy. So says, it's called laryngitis. Nope, it's not laryngitis. I've had laryngitis. This is different. This is more like death of vocal cord. Amanda says, that would be so cool. Sit in your yard and watch the car show. I'd be in heaven. Yeah, Amanda loves cars. She knows all kinds of cars, too. She impresses me all the time. She'll say, that's a Sprite Healy. I'm like, you've never even seen a Sprite Healy. What are you talking about? She's right. Yeah, something like that. How do you know what a Sprite Healy is? She knows what both kinds of them look like. Angela says, oh, goodness. I went to my emojis, and first one I see is the middle finger. I've been flipping off people in chat on TikTok all day. I've been bad. LOL. Oh, by the way, hello, everyone. I love you all. Heart. Angela, we love you, too. And you wield that birdie emoji anytime you want to. We understand where you're coming from. I probably agree with you. Yes, I can play Georgia on my mind. You want it on the piano or on the guitar? Mm-hmm. I can't sing it, though. Not right now. Amanda says, of course, Fab. course you can. You know I can. Or any other song you want to throw up. Soph says, hold on, my chat jumped. Soph says, it's still winter in Australia. I would imagine so. It's still summer here, so. Angela says, hot Fab Daddy, but warm now. I think those are flirting words. Angela, get 'em. Angela says, the tea, Jake, LMAO. The tea. Is that what the kids are calling it these days? Fab Daddy says, don't forget to hit that like button, everybody. I did. It's free. That's right. Hit that like button. There's 12 people in chat. There's only 6 likes. That math ain't mathing. Somebody ain't liking me very much. Hit that like button. Also, like, subscribe, share, support, join. Super chats are available in the chat box. Oh, the hell with it.
VJ, now I lay me down to sleep. Pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I die before I wake, VJ, my best friend, right through it all, VJ. If I die before I wake,
VJ. That's a good old band called the Kentucky Headhunters. Great band. No, Pirates of the Mississippi. Sorry, wrong band. Pirates of the Mississippi. Sue says, tidy whities are sexy. Some people like that sort of thing, Sue. That's all right. Linda Davis says, I wish you were here, Amanda. Well, that can be arranged. We can make something happen. Soph says, hi, Linda. What happened to your son? Angela says, thank you for reminding me, Fab Daddy. Drink that hot tea. Sue says, I go to car shows dressed as a pinup to pose with the cars. It's fun, and the owners love it. I bet they do. You got any pictures? Where do you put the pin? Which pinup in particular? Do you do Betty Grable? Or just the, most important one, whose name escapes me right now, but you know the one I'm talking about. What is her name? The pinup girl. When you think of pinup girls, who do you think of? That girl. John says, I got the kettle today, and I got my refund as well. Fantastic, John. How's the kettle working? Is it a good kettle? Fab Daddy says, has Soph ever been in the Never Never? I don't know. You might want to ask her. Soph, have you ever been in the Never Never? That's a good question, Fab Daddy. Amanda says, we watched the Guess This Car on YouTube, and I beat him most of the time. LOL. I love me some cars. One day she'll realize that I let her beat me. Linda Davis says, I just got back from the 175 town anniversary celebration. 175th town anniversary celebration. Fantastic. It was too hot out there, so I had to stop for a drink on the way home. What kind of drink? Are you talking about like a cold drink or like a drink? Like mommy needs a nightcap kind of drink. Fab Daddy says, drink of choice? Same question. Linda says, Bacardi and Coke. You had to get yourself a toddy. I see. Sue says the tea is gossip. I don't know why. The tea is gossip. Why is the tea gossip? Sue says tea. Ah, I see. I see what you did there. Amanda says Mountain Dew and coffee then, tea. Amen. Fab Daddy says rum and Coke. Oh, I remember those days. I never had those days. I never could drink dark liquor. Sue says, OMG. The song says, feed Jake. Here I was thinking it said BJ. Yeah, that has come up before. It didn't. It said feed Jake. I mean, but I am flexible. If you really want to show your appreciation. I'm just kidding. No, it says feed Jake. Fab Daddy says my version does say BJ. Right on. Although that would be gruesome. If I die before I wake, BJ. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I die before I wake, BJ. Gruesome. Honest, but gruesome. Linda says, he. All right. Soph says, Lord Jesus, I ask you please pray for my mom. In Jesus' name, I pray that you will heal her from her disease. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Soph, you did a fine job of praying for your mom. And we have done so just the same. Cancer is a very, very hard disease to get over. And most likely it's due to mankind's disobeying God in the first place that we have that problem. And all things are possible with Jesus. Let's put it that way. But you need to be strong and you need to prepare yourself for whatever comes your way, regardless of the outcome. You will survive. We love you, and you're always welcome here. But you got to understand, this is a harsh world we live in, and sometimes things go wrong, and they go wrong catastrophically. And that's when you need friends. So you have some. Be thankful for that. And love your mom every second you can while you can, because you never know how much time you have. She may surprise you and outlive you. But you need to live every day like it's the last one you got. Therefore, when it is the last one you got, you won't be regretting not having said whatever it is you wanted to say or done whatever it is you wanted to have done. Cherish every moment you have. I'd give anything 10 times over to have 10 more minutes with my mom. She's gone. But she's with the Father, and that's way better than anything that could happen here. So, good on her. Amanda says, LOL, Sue. Angela says, you can't stab someone at a school track meet and kill them for a touch or a push or a grab and call justified self-defense. No, you can't. And everyone knows that wasn't. But it's turned into a political thing. And like all political things, now it's about making money. Welcome to the world. It's pretty gruesome out there. Amanda says, you need me to come up there, Linda? That can definitely be arranged. Fab Daddy says, prayers for Soph's mother. Amen. Sue says, Betty Page, thank you. That's the one I was thinking of. That's the pinup girl, right? I could not remember. I remembered Betty Grable, but I couldn't remember her name for nothing. But that was it. Yep. Fab Daddy says, Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Yes, he does. That's a fact. Linda Davis says he was fixing his truck and it started rolling back and it crushed him between the truck tire and the rock wall. Oof. That's horrible. Well, thank God he's still alive. Soph says, no, I have not been to Never Never. Care to elaborate on what that is, Fab Daddy? What is the Never Never? Is that where Peter Pan goes? Or is that something? Is that a Michael Jackson thing? What are we talking about? A Metallica thing? John says, smart kettle all lights up. That makes it smart? I would think a smart kettle would make tea for me. Or order tea when I'm out. Or, rib me sarcastically while I try to get dressed. Something like that. But it lights up, huh? That's cool. Fab Daddy says, I have never been in the Never Never on the Gun Barrel Highway. I don't know what that is. Is that a movie thing? The Gun Barrel Highway. The Never Never. Is that a newfangled way of saying delete oneself? Amanda says, LOL, lies. I win fair and square. You're right. I'm of average intelligence and normal stature. Angela Ashkin says, oh, Jeremiah is awake from his open heart surgery. Still having lung problems, but kind of writing his daughter's name. That's good. I'm not sure why he is practicing writing, though. I wonder why now. Probably because he's having trouble talking. That's what I'm going to have to be doing pretty soon. But it's good that he is communicating anyway. That's a hard thing to go through, open heart surgery. My dad had to have all of his arteries capped off or whatever it is they do. All of them. I think there's like 4, 2 up and 2 down, something like that. And they have to put in a replacement valve kind of thing. Clean it out, put a stent in it, something. I'm not sure what they do, but he had to have all of them done. So most people only get 1 or 2 done. He had them all done. And they cracked him open like an egg, wide open. That was a painful thing to see that. My dad, Mr. Man, the big, strong guy, so weak and in that state. It was just hard to see. Hard to see, hard to believe. But after that, after he healed, he had energy of a 10-year-old for a while, bouncing off the walls. Linda says, I really just went in for the AZ to get you a drink. Yeah, turn that cold air on. Drink down a nice toddy. Kick back and relax. Are you trying to tell us you went to a bar? Is that what you're saying? You didn't stop to get a drink. You stopped for a drink. I see. Nice. Amanda says, okay, Nugget, your kettle and our kettle must be 2 different things. His kettle is a tea kettle. That's what a kettle is. I don't know what you're talking about. Fab Daddy says, yep, BJ. Whatever rises to the occasion, Fab Daddy. Amanda says, rum and root beer was my drink. Ooh. And Coors Light. But I really rarely drink. Yeah, if you're drinking rum and root beer, that's a kind of a weird flavor. Rum and root beer, that's different, says Fab Daddy. That's what I'm saying. Angela says, nope, my senior year after high school, I drank all the time because I was on my own. Flavored vodka straight. Even at school, always had a bottle on me. Wow. I would have been arrested if I tried that. Amanda says, Southern Comfort and Sprite is good. if you like that sort of thing, I guess. The only thing I've ever been able to drink without having a repulsive action or reaction to it is tequila. Everything else, vodka, rum, Jack Daniels, any of that, my body revolts against it. It doesn't like it. It's like, no, like that French's commercial. Remember that commercial? That's how my body reacts to dark liquor. But I can drink tequila like it's water. Don't know why. Must be the Indian in me. John says brandy on the rocks is mine, but can't drink. Nope, you need to stay off of that for a while there, John. That would go contrary to your treatment, and you're kicking ass, so you need to keep doing that. Fab Daddy says, yep, we all done stupid stuff and amazingly survived. Not me. I did everything I did on purpose. It might have been stupid, but I intended it. Angela says, after I graduated, I joined the service and never really drank again. That's good. Amanda says, now he has threats out on the unalived kids' families. Oh, you must be talking about the school thing. That came out of nowhere. What are you talking about? I'm guessing you're talking about the stabbing. That guy milked that for every penny he could get out of it. Had a GoFundMe and everything, and then spent all the money, started asking for more. That's a way to turn something political. And I like what the father said. We lost 2 children that day, not just one. That was the father of the dead kid. He said that kid's got to live with what he did, and so we lost, and he's going to have to pay for it. Lost 2 kids that day, and that's a shame. It should have never happened. That's what a real father would think. It was the other family that tried to make it political. Fab Daddy says, I'll only drink hard alcohol if it's your birthday. I stick to beer. I hear you. Beer's probably safer. Hard liquor tends to make you want to do things you wouldn't normally do. Linda says, yeah, Fab, but at least there's no evidence like these dumb kids these days. Right. Dennis Bigfoot says, hey, Jake. Dennis, nice to see you, buddy. How you doing? How's your Friday shaping up? I'm thanking God it's Friday. I still got a Saturday and a Sunday to do, but I'm thanking God it's Friday. I've had a long week. Sue says, I need to change my phone before I lose you guys. It's 3%. It charged my phone. Yeah, plug that joker in. Fab Daddy says, the Never Never is the outback of Australia. Oh, gotcha. You're talking a language I don't know nothing about. My limit of information about Australia is that, number 1, Crocodile Dundee is from there. And number 2, that's where black people come from. They're just a little unusual. I mean, they don't come from there. They're not the original black people, but they are the aboriginal black people. I'll let that sink in for a minute. Amanda says, hi, Dennis. And Dennis says, hey, Amanda. Angela says, they are so horrible on TikTok. Like, half of the people grew up in civilized society and the other half didn't. Actually, it's more like 65-35. 35% thinks a knife under 5 inches is legal at school. Listen, TikTok will rot your brain. The best thing you can do is unprogram that thing from your phone and never look back. Whatever algorithm or programming they use on TikTok or whatever the format is, the one thing I know about it is that it sucks you in, and then when you come out of it, you're less of an intelligent person than you were when you went in. I don't know how they trade that off, but it's damaging your brain. Stay away from it. That's my advice. Fab Daddy says, Dennis is following me. I am starting to get paranoid. Well, if, you could take that as a flattery. What they say, stalking is the greatest form of flattery or something like that. And Amanda says, ain't nobody going to be able to read your chicken scratch writing, Jake. Well, I can't help all that. I do write like a doctor, but, I got it honest. Sue says, I can follow you, Fab Daddy. Right on. Dennis says, I have a trace running on you, Fab. Fab Daddy says, you can, but why? I don't create content. Well, maybe they're just waiting to see if you pick something up. Maybe you'll run into something unique and decide you want to film it, and then they'll be first in line to see it. Maybe they got that kind of faith in you, Fab. I do. Rich S. What's up, Rich? Rich says, hi, all. Nice to see you, buddy. How's your Friday shaping up? Angela says, they literally ignore the law. Just stop at location restriction. Forgetting about the law on certain places like schools and government buildings are a weapon-free zone. Yes, they are. Sue says, hi, Rich. Amanda says, hey, Rich. And Rich says, hi, Sue. And hello, Miss Johnson. Can you take me higher? Can Jake play a big pen on a desk as percussion? Yes. Sort of. Does that make you feel better? Make you happy? Dennis Bigfoot says, they used to put rum in the water in ships back in the day of sails to keep it drinkable. Oh, yeah. You know why? Because alcohol kills germs and water carries germs, and they didn't have filtration systems. That's why everybody drank wine in the old day. Wine ferments and kills whatever's in it. And, a good drink of water might mean cholera, and cholera means diarrhea, and diarrhea means death in the old days. It ain't funny like it is today. In those days, you die from it. Well, that's weird. Oh, there it is. Losing my brain. Amanda says, LOL, of course, Fab. If it makes noise, Jake can play it. Oh, yes. I play everything. And ain't good at none of it, but I play it. Angela says, I live in a small town. My graduating class had 93 people, and that was 2 towns. Wow. Interesting. Fab Daddy says, I watched some dude play some sick beats with a pen. Oh, yeah. Pens are quite percussive. My favorite thing to do is find a hollow piece of metal or a piece of glass that's just a big size glass. Give me a good bass sound. I love to beat on things like that. I'm forever tapping. It drives everybody crazy. Amanda says, I like Buckets the drummer. He's cool. Yeah, if you don't know who Buckets is, I implore you to look it up. Just look up Buckets the drummer. You'll be impressed. I enjoy his content. And I think I know who it is. To keep it cooler. No, to keep it clean. Angela says, was it Angela? What? Hold on. Oh, yeah. Angela says to keep it cooler, Dennis, to put rum in the water. No, to disinfect it so that it wouldn't cause you cholera or some other disease. Dennis Bigfoot says to keep it safe to drink. Right on. Fab Daddy says all liquor just encourages me to be me. Just louder. Alcohol is the truth serum. Yep. You can quit drinking. You'll be the same asshole. You'll just have fewer dents in your car. Fab Daddy says inhibition gone. Right. Yeah, I don't need that. I'm inhibited already. I have no inhibitions. I stopped blushing a long time ago. What do they call that? Being extroverted, outwardly expressing all emotions. I don't keep nothing inward. I'm not frugal. I'm not bashful. I'm not shy. I just am, whatever that means. Angela says, how does that keep it safe to drink, Dennis? Because it's alcohol. It sterilizes the water. I'm sorry. I'm just naturally inquisitive. I like to understand every part of everything. Well, that's a good thing, Angela. That means that you're smart. Smart people ask questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question and never a reason to apologize. I like it when people ask questions. That's the whole reason I give an hour of Q&A at the end of my show. Just for that very reason. You'd be surprised how few people take me up on it, though. I'd like to see more questions, more thinking, more inquisitiveness. Amanda says alcohol is liquid courage and liquid Band-Aid. Fab Daddy says alcohol is poison. Be careful. So is water if you drink enough of it. I bet you didn't know you could drink enough water to die from it, did you? Oh, yeah. And then it says, I'm apt to go Jekyll and Hyde with liquor, right? You can't control your, which way your mood swings. I don't have that problem. My dad did, though. He was a completely different human being as soon as he had a drop of liquor in him. Rich S says, I'd rather have somebody walk with me than to follow me. It has its perks. Rich says, LOL. And Dennis Bigfoot says, it kills bacteria. Hang on, my chat jumped again. I'm sorry, I'm talking so low. It's the only way I can make my voice work. I'm not being antisocial or in a bad mood. I just can't talk very fast or very loud. Yep. Dennis says it kills bacteria and viruses a little and other things that grow in water. Yeah, it's just a sterilization method. Fab Daddy says, all faith in you, my friend. You will educate many. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Dennis Bigfoot says, does go stagnant is best, I'm sure, though. Stagnant water probably helps it out a little bit. Probably makes it taste better. It's still stagnant water if you put alcohol in it. It's just alcohol and stagnant water. Really, you just drink the alcohol and be better off. But it probably makes it taste better. Angela says, I love that song. Which one? Dennis says, doesn't. I got you. I got you. Sue says, to a place where blind men see. Creed. Oh, can you take me out? I got you. I did say that. That's one of those things in my head that slipped out. Sometimes I'm not even conscious of it. Muted on the mic, but well done. Why did I mute on the mic? What are you saying? Are you saying you can't hear me? I didn't mute the microphone. Amanda says, good song, Sue. I like Creed. Creed is weird. John says, the only person I follow is God. Amen, John. Me too. I might follow somebody, but I don't bow to anything. Can you take me higher? Fab Daddy says, puff, puff, cough, cough. Right on. Rich says, what the hell is with all the spam calls and texts today? I must have declined 10 calls and just as many texts. I don't know. I get a lot of those too. I say hello, and if somebody doesn't say hello right back, I hang up. Because on those spam calls, they'll wait a second before they say hello. You'll hear a little beep, and then somebody will start talking. That's the automated system switching over to a call center. So if I say hello and somebody don't say, hey, I just hang up the phone. Rich says, I ain't got nothing they want, so let me be, LOL. You got money or potential, and that's what they want. They want you to buy something eventually. They want to pester you into buying something. Sue says, let's go there. Let's make our escape. Come on, let's go there. Let's ask, can we stay? Angela says, oh crap, I misunderstood what Dennis said to begin with. I thought they put the barrels in the ocean tied up to a ship. No. Why would they do that? Drag the alcohol behind the ship? I see why you think it would make it cooler. Probably wouldn't, because it's liquid and ocean's liquid. They're the same temperature. But it's not heavy enough to be an anchor. Yeah, I think they put the alcohol in barrels of water to clean it. John H. says, my friend plays the spoons. I've played the spoons before. Fab Daddy says, no way, John. Not only have I played the spoons, but I've had somebody come up and sit in with my band play the spoons before, which is odd. Fab Daddy says, spoons? Yeah, click, 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 click. There's a way to do it. If I had some spoons, I'd show you, but I don't. I didn't know this was going to come up. I don't just walk around with spoons on me, man. Angela says, I played the spoons. Yep. I play the saw, says Fab Daddy. So do I. Make it sound like a violin. Old handsaw, I can make it talk. I learned that when I was a little boy, and I ain't never forgot it. I've done it a couple times on stage, and one time I did it with a bow. And you can make really pretty sounds with a bow, like a fiddle bow. But you got to have a clean, brand new saw to do that. If you got a rusty one, it'll just eat the bow up. Sue says, damn, now I wish I could sing with Jake. You can? You certainly can. What would you like to sing? You'll have to do the singing. My voice is gone, but I'll play whatever you want. Amanda says, you ain't never seen nobody play spoons, Fab Daddy. I don't know how he couldn't have. It's been a thing all my life. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen that at least once. Amanda says, Sue, you should post a video of you singing on the Facebook page. That's right. I'll send you a video of me playing whatever song you want, and you can sing along with it and post it on Facebook. John says, Amanda, anybody can play the spoons. Linda says, I'm going to my room to lay in the air conditioning. I don't blame you. I'm in heaven since I installed that air conditioner right there in my studio. It's right there. Like I can reach over there and touch it. Nice ice cold air hitting me. It's a little tiny air conditioner, but I'm right next to it. It makes no noise, so it doesn't interfere with my podcast. I don't think you can hear it anyway. And it's ice cold air on me the whole time. That's lovely. And this is a small room anyway, so it cools it down quite nicely. First thing in the morning, I have to wrap up in a blanket to even come in here. To play the spoon, says Angela, you need a picking and a grinning music. That's right. Amanda says, here's the Facebook page, everybody. If you guys want to go check it out, that's facebook.com/UntetheredLive all one word, no G. Facebook Live, Untethered Live Chillin'. That's it. Go check it out. Rich S says, naked at Linda Davis. Oh, yeah. That's a must. If you're going to lay in the air conditioning, you got to be naked. And you can think about that while we're having a nice conversation. At least half the ladies in here are in some various stage of nakedness. In fact, and so am I. Fab Daddy says the loudest bass noise I ever heard was a weed burner in a 40-foot 8x8 square aluminum tube. I'd say that'd make a deep bassy sound. Boo. Linda says, hell yeah, Rich. It's too damn hot. Yep. You can put on enough clothes to be warm, but you cannot take off enough clothes to be cool. Wisdom by Jake. Here's another piece of wisdom. You ever get tired of feeding your family hamburgers and eating up a loaf of bread every time you sit down to eat? Well, I've come up with a brilliant solution for that. Make hot dog-shaped hamburgers. Roll the patty up, fry them, put them in a hot dog bun or one piece of bread. That's half the bread, twice the sandwich. I'm a genius. Hang on. Amanda says, I'm in my room, Linda. AC and fans going, half naked. And I just got out of the shower right before the show, so I'm nice and cool and wet. Angela says, I'm over here cracking up, saying, just wait, Jake, because I totally confused what Dennis said. That's all right. That's all right. Dennis says, brown liquor probably means clear stuff, 50-50. That too. Rich says, I love bare naked ladies. Me too. I used to know a couple of their songs. If I had $1 million, I'd buy you an emu or an ottoman. Fab Daddy says, Dennis is confusing. Not at all. What he said was, if brown liquor makes me revolt, it's probably the same with clear liquor, only 50-50. Because clear liquor is liquor. Just some of them have less revolting ingredients. At least I think I understood that correctly. Rich says, I like bare naked ladies too. No. I love bare naked ladies and bare naked ladies too. Yes. Like minors, not minors. I got it. Amy Elizabeth says, like, share, and invited some friends. Hello, Amy. How's your Friday going? How are you doing this fine evening, young lady? Amanda says, I can only drink brown liquor. Clear makes me very sick. I'm the exact opposite. Dennis says, I'm not Confucius. Fab Daddy says, Amy happens to be a super sexy writer. Her wit is contagious. She is my heroine. If her wit was contagious, that means that you would have wit by proximity to her having wit. Has that happened? And if she's your heroine, I would suggest you seek help, maybe rehab. Sue says Creed has Christian imagery in their lyrics, but they say they're not a Christian band. They're not a Christian band. Debbie's here. She says, I'm late. I was playing Scrabble and lost track of time. Right on. What'd you do? Have to spell clock? Lose the C? Nice to see you, Debbie. How you doing? Fab Daddy says, yes, they are, Sue. They are a Christian band. Fab Daddy says, hey, Debs. Debs. Do edibles break sadness, Debs? Amanda says they're not a Christian band. They might be Christian people, but they are a rock band. How about that? Semantics. You're splitting hairs there. Debbie says, hello, Fab, and everyone else. Nice to see you. Linda says, my youngest has PTSD from alcohol because his biological father was a mean drunk. They all hate that trash. They all hate that Tersh drank. Yeah, I can understand that. My dad was a drunk too. And I understand that whole PTS thing. That's the reason I don't fish. It's a long story, but let's just say it was not a fun sport. It was a survive a drunk sport. And I was forced to play. So I don't fish to this day. I own a boat, though. Amy says, hi, Debbie. And Fab Daddy says, some mouth harps can destroy music. I guess it depends on what you're saying. Some of it can enhance music. Like that guy that played on that track of Garth Brooks, Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up. It's probably the best harp player ever. I'd say his harp playing enhances music. Then you got Bob Dylan, who really can't play the harp, but he likes to blow. His harp playing kind of ruins music. Amy says, do you play with yourself? Oops. I mean by yourself. Yes and yes. Never mind. No matter how I phrase it, it sounds dirty. And yes. Christine says, hi, y'all. What's up, Christine? How's your Friday doing? Nice to see you, my friend. Everybody, please hit that like button. There's 16 people in chat and only 9 likes. It's free. It's effortless, and it really does help the channel with the algorithms. Won't you do that, please? Also, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available in the chat box if you want to show a little love, or hit that Cash App, $ Jake Johnson Band. I do appreciate it very much. Thank you. And go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/UntetheredLive chillin'. Amanda says, LOL, Amy, hi. Fab Daddy says, my town has an annual bluegrass festival. I've never attended a bluegrass festival, but I do play some. I'm no Billy Strings, but I can get the job done, if you know what I'm saying. Amanda says, hi, Christine. And Debbie says, I've been known to play with my spoon. Just be careful you don't play with it too long. You'll go blind doing that. Angela says, I don't know, Jake bootlegging. Keep it cold. That's why I'm not the brightest at all times, you know. I've got my duh moments. I don't know Jake bootlegging. Oh, yeah. I understand what you're saying now. It just took me a minute to connect the dots. Fab Daddy says, yep, the only spooning I do is soup in bed. Amy says, rock, paper, scissors. Paper. Fab Daddy says paper. See, I told you. Christine Marshall says, I have to say, I don't care about the Epstein list just because I believe Trump is using it as a tool to make our enemies capitulate into helping Americans achieve making America great again. I hear you, buddy. I don't care about the Epstein list either. I know what that's all about. Amy says, or Christine, it was a way to fish out the leak. Could be that. How about that? Sue says, scissors. Fab Daddy says, what? You know, scissors. For paper. Paper. Scissors beats paper. Fab Daddy says, no with your food ideas. Food ideas. No with my food ideas. Hamburger shaped like hot dogs. One piece of bread, twice the sandwich. That's brilliant. Sorry if you don't see it. Christine says, bonjour and Cash, Bongino and Cash are rookies. Well, at least acting like it. Yeah, no, they were forced to go along with the narrative. Neither one of them liked doing it, Bongino the least, but they had to. And now they're both threatening to quit because they don't like how this whole thing shook out. And rightly so. Amy says again, rock, paper, scissors. Rock, scissors, paper. And Sue says rock. And Fab Daddy says paper, and I say paper. And Amy says bonjour, oi, oi. Oui, oui. Bonjour, oui, oui. Je t'adore. Je te vendo, I don't care. I don't care, I'm French. You take your baguette and go away. Angela says, good idea. Ham dogs, LOL. That's what I'm saying. And Sue says, bonjour, mon ami. Buongiorno. That's Italian. Bonjour. That's French. Bye. That's Spanish. Fab Daddy says 2 is scissors and 5 is paper. Yep. Amy says, I don't know what that is, but it beats a rock, scissors, and paper every time. Whatever that is. It's gold, but I can't make out what it is. Fab Daddy says, Dynamite wins it all. TNT, Dynamite. TNT, out of sight. Amy says, facts, Fab. Fab says, that's a thumbs up. I don't think so. Might be. Amy says, to you, Fab. And Fab says, oh, really, Jake? Amy does make me smarter. I know. I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you, man. Relax. Get to it. Sit back and enjoy it. Amy says, Fab, not dab. But you never know. Touch, touch. Inhale, cough, cough. Oh, torch, torch. Inhale, inhale, cough, cough. Yeah, I got it. Torch, torch. I said it. I read it wrong first, and then I read it right. Fab Daddy says, Amanda cheats and uses Google to answer my questions. No, she does not. She uses Google to support what I say, to show you that I know what I'm talking about. But I've already said it by the time she posts the thing on Google. It's not the same thing. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but when you ask a question, I answer it. And I'm not looking at Google. I'm looking at you. Or I'm looking at that camera, which is looking at you. And then she backs me up. Or if I forget something, which I'm apt to do a lot, like a name, she'll pull it up so that I remember it to keep me fluid. Because that's what a good producer does. And she's getting more Jamie every day. Debbie says, I had to spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, but I ran out of towels. Yep. I don't even know how you would score that word. Fab Daddy says, all right, you guys with your racist hand symbols. Sue says, Creed is quoted saying, they are not religious or a Christian band. People confuse them as a Christian band because of the biblical lyrics. Which is what a Christian band would use, which is why people think that. Amanda says, LOL, I do not, Fab. Kevin Bernard, what's up, brother? He says, hello, Jake and everyone. Nice to see you, Kev. Come on in, take your shoes off. It's going to be a nice night. A short one, but a nice one. I'm going to cut out early tonight because I'm losing my voice rapidly. I've managed to reach a plateau where if I talk quietly, I can get through. But it ain't going to last long. I'm hanging on. And I got a killer headache to boot, so. John says, Amanda don't need Google. She's a smart cookie. Thank you, John. Christine says, hi, Amanda. Fab Daddy says, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. I don't say it loud. I say it proper. I'm not precocious. I'm arrogant. Get your facts right. Amanda says, hi, Kevin. Amy says, did everyone see the video I posted to the Untethered page? The female pastor said, yes. Yes, I did see that. And you saw how I responded. That is a classic example of a person taking the Lord's name in vain, breaking one of those commandments. Never, ever, ever listen to a preacher that says things like that. She doesn't even believe in Jesus. She's using that for political power and for clout and for money, probably. Because if she believed in Jesus, she would not have ever said any of those things out loud. That's as close to blasphemy as you can get. Kevin says, hello, Amanda. And Amanda says, that's right. Thanks, Nugget. Amy says, hi, Kevin, heart. And Fab Daddy says, no, Amy, I didn't. Well, go to the Untethered Live page, Untethered Live chillin', and check it out. And post your picture while you're there. Untethered Live chillin'. The link is in the chat. Kevin says, hello, Amy. Fab Daddy says, Facebook ain't my jam. Well, then you didn't need to respond at all, did you? Or were you just responding so that you could say something negative in return? Or maybe you just like being contrarian. Because if it were me and I didn't do Facebook, I just wouldn't have answered the question because it wasn't directed at me in the first place, right? Who am I kidding? Amanda says he prefers when I play with him, though. What? Where'd that come from? Sue says, my AC is working too good. I'm cold. That's a good thing in today's temperature. I'm a little chilly, but I'm not cold. I'm still hot from today. And wet. I was wet all day today. I'm running a pressure washer all day. And Fab Daddy says, hi, Kevin. And Amy says, toe jam. Toe jam. Toe jam? We might could make that happen. I might do a video of all my toes with little guitars on them and little puppet outfits and title the video Toe Jam. Rich says, me too, I'm nippy. Nipply. You're nipply? Do that. Amanda says, LOL, Sue. And Kevin says, hello, Fab Daddy. And hello, Rich. And Amy says, nipply nuggets. No, nuggets not nipply. Rich is nipply. Rich says, hey, Kev. Christine says, I love seeing people play the spoons. That's a good little trick, isn't it? Kevin says, hello, Christine. Amy says, oh, that was Rich, not John. I'm tired and still at work. I hear you. That's why I fixed it for you. Play Constant Sorrow from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen troubles all my days. I don't know the words. I will ramble. I'll make my day. He will make it all his days. There you go. Happy? Now I've got a copyright strike. There goes that work. But if you're happy, I'm happy. I don't even know the words of that song, but it's a good song. Debbie says, no wonder I need special reading glasses. Damn spoon. Right. Amanda says, LOL, Amy. And Linda says, Rich is cutting glass with those nips. Sheesh. Amy says, LOL, Linda. Linda says, hi, Kevin. Hang on. Chat jumped again. Where'd it go? BT Dubs. Where is it at? There we go. I found it. By the way, Sue says, by the way, did you know Brother Where Art Thou is based on the Greek myth Homer's Odyssey? Yes. Yes, I did. Sue says, hi, Kevin. And Fab Daddy says, I am saving my political beliefs until tomorrow. Good call. And we need lots of that tomorrow. Fab says, I got plenty to gripe about. All right. Me too. Including the negative thing I'm going to say about TRUMP tomorrow. Fab Daddy, since you think I never criticize him. Sue says, this is a chill stream and not political stream. It will be tomorrow. John says, gonna say good night, everyone. Have a blessed night and hope you feel better tomorrow. Hope to feel better tomorrow. Much love. I hope you feel better too, John. Take some easy rest and drink lots of liquids. Make sure you eat something too, if you can. We love you and get some rest. We'll see you tomorrow. Kevin says, good night, John. Amy says, I sliced up some generic Spam and fried it up with peppers. Topped it with cheese and wrapped it in a tortilla shell. Nice. We had hamburgers shaped like hot dogs, so they only fit on one piece of bread. That's half the bread, twice the sandwich. I'm a genius. And Fab Daddy says, good night and fuck cancer, John. Sleep well. Amen. Linda says, good night, Nugget. Heart. And Amanda says, good night, Nugget. Christine says, wavy hand. Amy says, good night, Nuggy. And Amy says, rock. Amy says, it's a pew-pew, Jake. Ah. It didn't look like one, but I hear you. Angela says, I'm an independent. I have my own unique political views. I'm definitely not a socialist. I think that should be the church's job for their tax exemptions. I'm not happy with churches. I'm not either, which is why I have my own. I don't go to church, by the way. It's this one. Christine says, the Young Turks, TNT, I'm a power load. TNT, watch me explode. And Sue says, looks like a water pew-pew. Okay. I couldn't see it. It just looked like a gold blob. But that does beat all the other ones for sure. Christine Marshall says, good night. Are you leaving us, Christine? Good night to you too, sir. We love you and thank you for being here. Fab Daddy says, I have changed my political beliefs over the years. I hope we all have. That would be weird to have the exact same beliefs that you had years and years ago. That means you're not growing as a human being. Amy says, I watched the video shorts with the kitties today. The orange one looks like a handful. They're all a handful. They're all full of energy. I mean, they're cute, adorable little kitty cats. And thank you for looking at all my videos, Amy. I appreciate that. That helps a lot. Angela says, I don't like TikTok language. That's why I don't go live and hardly go on panels. I'm down in the chat reminding people how ignorant they are, though. And some people are just ate up by demons, I'm saying. And that is the place to find them, too. You can find them here, too, but TikTok really is exceeding with the evil content. And I try to stay away from it. I don't use TikTok. I use all the other platforms, but I don't use that one for various reasons. Amy says, awesome song, Christine. TNT. Amy says, where's Aaron? I hadn't seen him in a couple of days. And Amanda says, here's the Facebook page link if anybody wants it. Fab Daddy says, Facebook uses my real name and I'm busted. Well, here's a tip. Don't hide. You're grown. You have no one to answer to. Don't hide. Just be who you are. I hide nothing. That way they can't catch me on anything. I dare you to accuse me of something. I'll admit it before you get it out of your mouth and then make t-shirts based on it. Believe that. I learned that from the master debater. Christine says, I can picture my dad singing the TNT song. It is a classic, Amy. Let's see if I'll have to slow it down a little so your mind can wrap around it, but something like that anyway. Hard to do on an acoustic guitar. I had to slow it down for your mind and my fingers. I can do it on electric guitar, though, pretty good. I can do both versions, that version and the tapping version. Wow, wow, wow. Thunder. That's not TNT, that's Thunderstruck, isn't it? Never mind. Forget everything I just did. The other one is the oi, oi, oi. Bow, down, bow. Yeah, I got that one too. Forget what I said. Angela says, LOL Fab. Amanda says he's doing puzzles with his lady. Is he? How did you know that? I haven't heard from him in a couple of days. Are you communicating with Aaron behind my back? Debbie says, Amanda, when you play with him, do you include a cup too? No. She gobbles it all up. All natural. Amy says, AC/DC, Christine. Yes, TNT. Dynamite. Linda Davis says, Fab, are you hiding in the shadows? I think so. If he's scared to put out his real name, he's hiding from something. Says the guy who's scared to put out his real name. Amanda says, playing with you was in response to Amy's comment on playing with yourself. I got it. Fab Daddy says, yep, that sun is bright. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, Fab Daddy. Amanda says, LOL, hell no, Debbie. I like a direct shot. My screen is skitzing out on me. Did you see that? Got a hole in my head. Amy says, hey, y'all. It takes Jake a while to get to your comments. Add context. Thank you, Amy. Christine says, AC/DC rocks. If I had to be pinned down and say who's the best rock band of all time, like just nailing it, it'd be AC/DC, hands down. They're simple. There's nothing complex going on, and it's pure rock and roll and adrenaline. Don't look that up, Debbie. Trust me. You didn't listen last night. Listen tonight. Do not look up a blue waffle. Don't listen to Fab Daddy. He's trying to hurt you. And Sue says, OMG, you did it. Thank you, Jake. I wish I could remember the words to it. I would have done the whole thing, but I can't remember the words. Fab Daddy says they're quack like a duck. Whack, 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 Avlac. Christine says, with the hat, LOL. Amy says, Ozzy Osbourne retired. He has stage 4 Parkinson's. Yeah, he does. And it was a good show. Not for Ozzy. He only did 4 songs, but the whole show was good. War Pigs. I can play that on the drums. Sue says, loved it. Thank you, Sue. Christine says, yep, War Pigs is awesome. I can play that on the drums. There ain't a whole lot to the guitar part. It's mostly drums. Mostly. That's it. Amy says the hat doesn't fit with the headphones. I know, right? Better. There you go. Fab Daddy says, you shouldn't get a copyright strike. That wasn't even close. What are you talking about? That was exact. Not the words, the music. Amy Elizabeth says War Pigs and Crazy Train. That's it. Yeah. All them days of rocking and rolling put me in a place where I'm sitting and stolen. Amanda says, LOL, Amy. It looks really good on him when the hat is in shape. When the hat's all he has on. It looks good on me anytime. I just got to shape it up. It's been in a box for 2 years. I just found it yesterday or day before. So it's a little out of shape, but I'll get it right. I ain't had time to play with it yet. Amy says changes with his daughter Kelly was good too. I'm not a big fan of Kelly though. I'm not either, but it's nice that they're together. Sue says, hey Jake, record yourself playing Constant Sorrow and I'll record myself singing it. I can do that. Amy says, like a duet, Susie? I'll do it. You have to wait till I'm a little bit more vocally capable. I can't do it right now. But as soon as I get to where I can squeak out, I got to play a song for Patty that I've been working on, and then I'll play that one for you. Christine Marshall says Polish sausage and baked macaroni and cheese. Not my favorite, but it worked. Hey, sometimes you got to eat what you got to eat. Amy says, Susie, I never did see the video of you singing the national anthem. I think she said they had to cancel that. Fab Daddy says, good night, everybody. This is my last written comment. Be good and smile more. 2 and 5. Fab Daddy, love you, brother. See you next time. Linda says, good night, Fab. Amy says, good night, Fab. Have fun lurking in the stream. Lurking in the streams in another world. And we rely on each other. Amanda says, night, Fab. Kevin says, good night, Fab Daddy. And Sue says, Amy, I guess. You just want the music. I got you. I'll play it for you. I'll put a little twist on it. I might even play banjo. How about that? Sue says, Amy, I never sang it. I was sick with a sore throat, so I couldn't sing. I feel you. Me too. Amy says, oh, Susie. And Sue says, Amy, didn't you hear me sing it before? I know on the early days I used to call into the other show and sing it. Cool. Christine says, Jake is mindful. I always appreciate that. Thank you, Christine. I don't know what you mean, but I appreciate you. Amanda says, here's the Facebook page if anybody wants to use it. That's facebook.com/untetheredlive chillin'. If you get the anchor to upload yourself singing the national anthem or something like that, there it is. And Sue says, so where are we going tonight? To bed as quickly as possible, Sue. Amanda says, I've asked him if he was okay, LOL. And no, I would never. I always tell you, oh, I was joking. I ain't worried about that in the slightest bit. Come on now. I was just joking. You don't have to explain yourself to me. I'm not asking, for real. If I thought you were talking to him behind my back, I would let you. You know why? Because if there's a man out there alive that can take you, he can have you. That means I didn't do a good enough job. Amy says, I'm going home in about an hour. I'm already home, but I'm going to bed just as fast as I can get there. I've had a long week. I'm ready for it to be over. I still got 2 more shows to do this week, but no more work until Monday. So I'm taking a much needed break. I'm probably not even going to speak tomorrow until podcast time. Christine says, ha, I'm going to get a cowboy hat and boots eventually. You should, Christine. It's very liberating. There's nothing in the world better than walking into a modern room full of modern people wearing a cowboy hat and boots and just standing there like you own the place and daring them to say anything to you. Stoicism has not died. There's just nobody in this generation that can pull it off. If you can, women will love you. Stoicism is very sexy. Don't believe me? Ask a few of them. Susie says, I'm going off the rails on the crazy train. Yes. Aye. Amy says, gonna be a cowboy, baby. Linda says, nice hat, Jake. It's a good look. Now I'll be thinking about 6-foot cowboys. Well, I'm 5'9" soaking wet, so you're welcome. And Debbie says, we need more people to interact on the chill page. Come on, y'all. Let's have some fun. Yeah, y'all go have some fun. Fill it out. Get a thing going over there. Start a religion or, something. Kevin says, damn hot ass week. Yeah, it has been hot this week, Kevin. Very hot. Almost record breaking. Christine says, people always say dinosaurs aren't in the Bible. The word dinosaur was invented in the 1800s. True. Very true. And then dinosaurs are in the Bible. Read Job. And they're in a few other places too. And Debbie says, did you see lots of good-looking women, Kevin? Sue says, Bon Jovi and Angel Smile is what you sell. You promised me heaven and put me through hell. Chains of love got a hold on me. Your passion's a prison and I can't break free. Oh, it's a loaded gun. That's a good song. I used to play that song years ago. Amy says, I'm trying not to comment so Jake can go to bed. That's all right. You do your thing, honey. I'm here for you. Never mind the mule. Just load the wagon. You know what I'm saying? Oh. Sue says, Jake, you make me laugh. I love you. I love you too, Sue. Thank you. And you make me laugh too. And that's a good combination. Laughter and love. Maybe one day we can spread that to the whole world and make millions of dollars. That's not today, though. And Amy says, I'm glad you're here, Sue. Yeah, you make a good addition to this group of fine people. I'm glad you're here, too. We have a great community building here. I can't wait to see where it ends up. Sue says, thank you for inviting me, Amy. And Amy says, this chat is not judgmental. Not even a little bit. Not our job to judge. It's our job to interact. That's all. Make the best of what we got. Fab Daddy says, I judge from the shadows and also don't keep my word because I said I was going to leave and go to bed and this would be my last written comment. But clearly it was not my last written comment because here's another one. I judge from the shadows. Sue says, leave the judging up to the one who is perfect. That's right. He who was without sin cast the first stone. Sue says, LOL, Fab. Debbie says, I judge Amy, 𝕂𝕂𝕉𝕂. Well, don't be judging. Be nice. Be nice to each other. Love one another. You gotta love one another. Amy says, me? Why, Debbie, why? Why, Debbie, why did you judge me that way? Why, Debbie, why can't you be any day? I don't know. Debbie says, my judgment is nice, Jake. I know it is. Mine too. And I love the ladies. All of them. But I am tired, so I'm going to go to bed. Debbie says, I judge her to be a bad influence on me. Debbie, she's a great influence. She's smart. She's resourceful. She's tough. She works hard. All those are good qualities. And she loves and fears God. You can't have a better woman than that. I'd say that's a good influence. Amy says, red wine. And Debbie says, she's dirty-minded. Anybody with any sense has got a little dirty mind going on. Sue says, Amy is a good influence. I agree. Dirty mind and all. Ain't nothing wrong with dirty mind. In fact, it's biblical. Do you know what the first commandment God ever decreed was? I bet you'll be surprised if you don't already know. And I implore you to prove me wrong. Read the Bible and tell me. Read it from cover to cover and tell me if I missed one. The very first commandment of God is have lots of sex, fill up the earth, and make it yours. I'm paraphrasing, of course. He said, be fruitful and multiply, subdue the earth, and replenish it. But that sounds a lot like pro-sex to me. Amy says, ha, I got y'all fooled. You ain't got me fooled. I got your number. Debbie says, geez, Jake, you are making it hard on me. Well, not yet. Christine says, the Paluxy River has miles of dinosaur prints, and a few of those prints over human footprints. I know, I did a hyperbole on it. Confirming the Bible's mankind coexisted with dinosaurs like it suggests. Exactly. If you want to see further information on that, go watch my Hyperbole series. I can't remember which episode it is. I think it's episode 5. Might be episode 6. I don't remember. But go watch it. I do a whole piece on Biloxi, Mississippi and the like. and humans and dinosaurs living together. You'll find it entertaining, I think. Sue says, go forth and multiply. That's right. Must be fruitful and multiply. That means do it a lot. And Sue says, it's the first mitzvah in Judaism. Interesting. How about that? And begatting is fun, says Amy. Yes, it is. And fruity. Linda says, I'm done making babies, but I sure do like to practice. That's right. That's right. You ain't got to take it seriously, but you got to stay in shape. And Sue says mitzvah, loosely translated to commandment. Mitzvah means man's day. Mitzvah, man's day, something like that. There are 613 commandments or rules, but they're for all of the Jewish people, correct? Not everyone individual, correct? Yeah, most of those rules are for just specifically the 12 tribes. It is not for the Gentiles. The 10 commandments are for everybody, but there's a lot of rules that are just for the Jews. Amy says, Linda, I can only hope for a battery-operated latex babies now. Oh, come on now. You're selling yourself short. There's a lot of guys that'll jump on that grenade very happily. Amanda says it's Hyperbole number 6 if you want to watch it. You'll find it in the member section. I think you find it in the video section too. I'm not sure. I can't remember if I left it in the member section or if I put it in past videos. But just do a search for Hyperbole. Spelled like it sounds. And Sue says it can mean good deed too. I hear you. And Linda says, Amy, I guess I'm in the same boat now. Debbie says, OMG, Amy, there you go again. And Sue says, the 10 Commandments are called the Noahide laws within Judaism, meaning the laws of Noah. Right? It's actually the laws of Moses, but why is that Noahide? I don't get it. Noahide laws. I'll have to look into that word. I don't know what that means. But thank you for the context. Amanda says, oh no, Amy. B-O-B. You need a E-O-B. Amy says, not everyone has a pickle tickle, Debbie. Debbie says, this is true. This is true, Amy. Christine says, the Ten Commandments are the Old Testament covenant, the New Testament covenant. God specifically named them all in the book of Matthew, and there are 6 commandments in Jesus named. Yes, but he was referring to the 10. Trust me. Remember that Jesus said, I did not come to change one jot or tittle of the law, but to fulfill it. The law starts with the 10 commandments. So he fulfilled it. He did not do away with it. Sue says, because they apply to people after the flood. Yes. And Debbie says, after the show, I will post a pic of my pickle on the chill stream. Nice. And Sue says, after the flood is the new world. And Amy says, no-eyed laws blind. The no-eye laws, I got it. No-eye laws. Blind. That makes sense. All right, that's it. I'm at the bottom of the chat and I'm going to bed. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow night for some politics and some craziness is going to happen tomorrow, I'm sure. Have a great night. God bless each and every one of you. I've enjoyed this wonderful conversation. I'm sorry I'm so squeaky, but I'm working on it. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you and God bless. Like, subscribe, share, support, join, super chat, CashApp, $ Jake Johnson Band. I appreciate each and every one of you. Kevin, good night, brother. Sue, good night. Amy, Debbie, ladies, I love you all. Have a great night. Walter Davis, you come as I'm going, but I love you and thank you for being here. Thanks for watching, everybody.